Hi guys, welcome to another episode of General Machine. Hard at it today. I've been working on the K-swap outside today, fixing the broken power steering pump and the idler pulley. That's all done now. The car seems to be running a lot better. I've put a more slightly slacker belt on, so it's not so tight when the tension's on, and it seems to be okay now. Even a little bit of noise that I had before is gone. But you join me in the inside the house where I am changing the clocks. The new steering wheel came. That's over there. I'll give you a better look at that in a minute. That's the old one. But I bought some VTI clocks online, and they weren't as in good condition as they looked in the pictures. So I totally understand. It's old second-hand stuff. So it's fine. Moving on. So what I decided to do was to take the clocks out of the green car and reuse them. The number one reason for doing that is because if you look at the old plastics that goes over the front, you can see that someone's dropped, if it focuses, has dropped some super glue on it, and it's just doesn't look very nice, and I don't want to look at that when I'm driving. So I'll reuse the old one, which is lovely. And my second reasoning behind this is because the green Civic doesn't have ABS. It never came with it. It never had it on the clocks. As you can see on the old fascia plate there, it's blanked off. But on the new ones that I brought, you can clearly see that it's got ABS. And I don't really want to have things there that I don't have. It just doesn't make sense to me. Especially with MOTs the way they are these days. And as you can see, it's even got the circuitry for it in here, whereas the old one doesn't. So that's gravy in my opinion. And the second thing as well is that the green car, because it was a base model when it came out, didn't even come with a fuel warning light. And as you can see there, it's on the right and it's blanked off. But on the VTI clocks, I can take the backing off, which is here. I can take that off and put that in place on the old one. So then I will have a fuel light. And then what I'll do is take a bulb and a bulb holder off of the old one and just install it onto the new one. The second thing I had to do as well was to roll back the miles. Because when I brought it, I couldn't see, because the way they took the picture, I couldn't see. I thought it had 32,000 miles on it. But when it was delivered to me, it actually had 132,000 miles. So I've just rolled it all back so it's trimming proper to the original mileage of what the car had, which was 63,406. Just so we keep it all nice for the MOTs, because I didn't want a sudden jump when I go next year, and then it obviously, on the paperwork it would have doubled up on its miles. So that's what I'm doing this afternoon. I will say one thing as well: when you're moving these over, these plates, don't touch the black with your fingers. You might have a little bit of grease on there, and the natural oils that come out of your skin, it gets on that black, and it's an absolute pig to get off. I've learnt this from doing other clocks in the past. If you want to give them like a little dust before you start putting all the covers back on, just use a microfiber. It'll be perfect. And then the third thing, before you put all the covers back on, because you'll have to rip them all back off again, make sure you reset that fuel. Alright, you've got to use the old one, which I got here, and that's where it stays obviously when the ignition's off, because that's where it is in the tank. And then all you got to do is just use your finger and move the new needle into the right place. Otherwise, when you put it all back together, whatever the old car was on when it was took out, you'll think you've got fuel and you haven't, and then obviously you'll run out of fuel. Because in my case, if I'd forgot to do that and wasn't doing the fuel light swap over, I could have been driving around and just run out of fuel. Yeah, so it's just like a little catch-up video, guys. I will try and do some more mechanical videos. Just at the moment with lockdown, it's quite difficult. And it is hot as well outside, so, and I've got no one to hold the camera for me at the moment. But here's the new steering wheel. It came out of a Prelude, out of a, I think it was a 98 or a 99. It's very close to the Momo EK9 steering wheel. I just couldn't really swallow that sort of cost when I think this looks just fine. It's got, you know, it's nice leather wrapped. I gave it a good clean as well. That's the old one. I'll keep that for a spare for the other car. I just didn't like the fact that it didn't have any leather on the steering wheel. And not only that, this one's black as well, so it'll just go a little bit nicer with the seats. So hopefully we'll have that back in the car later. Yeah, so I hope you like this little catch-up video, guys. I know it's not that interesting. I am going to try, like I say, and do some more mechanical videos. So yeah, so I hope you like this little vid, guys, and I'll catch you all later. Hope you're all having a good day.